question.
Okay.
We're privileged to be joined by Amazon's #1 best-selling author, speaker, property coach, and mentor. He's an advocate of being very successful, building his own portfolio in Wales, but also helping other clients achieve their financial success. Mike Woods, what a pleasure to meet you.
Lovely, thank you, Aziz. Yeah, brilliant day today, and how can I help you today?
Well, for those of you who've never heard of Mike Woods, can you give them an intro as who Mike Woods is?
Absolutely. Well, I started my professional career in 1995 when I set up my architectural practice. Prior to that, I was working for another firm. I just wasn't happy. I was in a well-paid job, but I needed to do something different. So I decided to take the bull by the horns, if that's the right phrase, and I resigned and set my own practice up. Now, being a master of my own time, I was unable then to start up other businesses. Because of my construction industry and my profession, this enabled me then to design sites, houses. I built houses, and then the profits I made from that, I then started to invest in property.
That's really interesting. You mentioned that. What are your thoughts with most investors you see today in 2015?
Well, they've got a hard time of it, in all honesty. We were lucky enough to have gone through the property boom, where we were able to make a lot of money from property, but it just isn't possible these days. You see, property has only gone up 10% across the UK in the last 10 years. So we have to be now creative in how we're going to be able to get our money out of property and lift its value. So refurbishment is one of the key areas for me. And we also look into add value. So if you can just create another bedroom, or if you can, I wouldn't go down the lines of extensions for young people at the moment. So just try to work within the property they've got. A loft conversion and then adding another bedroom will add value.
That sounds brilliant. For a new beginner who doesn't have the deposit set together, but they may have a parent or a family member that can lend them the money.
This is quite often the problem. It's where do I get the initial startup funds from? And this is so key. We've got a lot of people who are very highly motivated, they're very excited to get into the industry, but they lack the funds. So what they've got to do is, and it is a case of beg and borrow. Your family and your friends, they no doubt will have some money stashed away earning not a lot of interest. So what we're looking to do is to get a pot of money together to buy a property which we can refurbish and add value. And once we've added that value, the profit we need to park aside and put it aside for a deposit. Now, it might not be enough for a deposit at this stage, so you need to use the initial set of funds to do another project. And once we've got a profit out of that project, we can add it to the first, and hopefully we'll have a good deposit, 25% on a property. This is now starting to build a portfolio whilst we continue to earn money. Now, the problem is that people think that they can instantly earn money out of property. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It does take a long time. It's taken me 25 years to get where I've been. So you are in for the long haul, but at the end of the day, you've got to be determined and work at it.
Fantastic. And how do people living on the other side of the UK or overseas, how can they find out more from your sound bites and your wisdom?
Okay, well, I'm currently running some workshops and I'll be running some webinars. My website is mikewoodsthepropertyexpert.com, where there's information there on how to get hold of me. Of course, there's the book, which I'm really pleased to say sold very, very well.
I congratulate you on that. It's a fantastic read. And for those of you who have not seen the book, you need to literally pick up your copy on Amazon. Tell them how they can.
Yeah, it's available on Amazon. It's called How to Successfully Invest in Property, not simply how to invest. Successfully is the key word. And throughout the book, compared by other books in this industry, I lead by example and I show everybody that I've actually done what I've needed to do to get through. So the book is full of case studies where everybody who's in the property industry or wants to get into it will come across these various things. And what I've done is said, this is how I've done it. So if there's more ways to do a project, but it's always a case of saying, well, if this guy did it this way, then I'll try it that way and it'll work. It worked for me, it's going to work for you guys.
Just to add to that, why is it so important to have a coach?
Well, this is the thing. You see, as somebody's mentioned before, whoever learns to drive, you get a driving instructor. It's as simple as that. At the end of the day, if somebody got in a car and went out to learn, they're going to smash the car, they're going to have an accident. And if you have an accident in property, it can cost you. So whilst a coach and a mentor might be costly, the costs of the mistakes can outweigh it tremendously. So what we're looking to do, and what I do on my mentoring, is I make sure that people get the right advice, the right knowledge, so that they avoid making mistakes. Why would I let somebody make a mistake when there's no need to? So they can get straight on it and start making profit.
So over 25 years, it's 2.5 decades of your experience.
Absolutely.
If you had to give a few tips to newbie investors or investors who've run out of cash, what would your top tips would be for any investors who are looking to get their rung on the property ladder or go through the glass ceiling?
Yeah, well, it's first of all, they need to have the motivation and the dedication. They do need to have some funds together. I know we've got other schemes out there which are rent-to-rents and lease options. It's a good way to get in, but you're earning money out of property, you're not investing. And we want to invest for the long term. So it is a hard thing to get off the ground. Fortunately, as I say, 25 years ago, I could buy a house for 30,000 and I was put in just £4,000 down. The game has changed. So we do have to rely on outside funds. So it is a case of going to mum, dad, auntie and uncle, getting together enough money to get the first project going and stick at it. But if we can give people the right information, knowing where to find the right properties and to do the right work where they can add value, we're cutting all the mistakes out. And this, I think, is key and so helpful to young people these days. I'm getting tremendous feedback from the people that I'm educating.
Now, I'm inspired by you as well as one or two of your business associates that you've had to invest in South Wales. What would typically an investor or somebody who's new, could be a business owner, entrepreneur, how can they benefit by coming to one of the live seminar events that take place?
Well, what I can do is I'll be showing real examples of the projects that I've been running, and I'll run through what I call the different levels of refurbishment. So I've created a system called the Performance Portfolio Growth System, whereby I've structured a system of people can easily understand how we're going to go through a project, from initially finding the properties to executing the works, the different works that they can do. And I've called it a rapid assessment, where people can see just from their internet position, wherever they want to be, whether this property has got potential to make a profit out of before they even go out the door and do the video.
Fantastic. My words, thank you so much.
Okay.
I wish you all the
Aziz.
success.
All the best. Cheers. He was cutting it.